told you I found you a perfect match. Chosen by science, but you had to marry them right this second. You would tell me, well, that sounds pretty whack. And I would add, you have 8 weeks to know if you really love them. You just got married at first sight. Jason and Aysha gonna tell you wrong from right. Are all these couples just disasters waiting to happen? Imagine if one of them could be a perfect match.
Welcome to a Perfect Match podcast, a Married at First Sight podcast, where today we will be talking about Married at First Sight Season 16, Episode 2. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason Reed. With me, as always, a first-generation podcaster, Aysha Welch. Aysha, how are you?
I'm doing well. How do you know I'm a first-generation podcaster?
You know what? Mama Welch is very good with words, as we know. So maybe she was a podcaster. That was wrong with me to assume.
Right. How do you know she wasn't like on the mic in the 80s?
How do I know you're not a 9th generation podcaster?
Right. Oh, if I was a 9th generation podcaster, you would know, because that's how you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Multi-generational.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, I was gonna ask you, is this our 65th podcast together?
No, Aysha. I don't keep count.
Okay.
I'm a little more mature than that, so I'm not sure how many podcasts you've done together, because I don't keep like a count of all the podcasts that we do. So I mean, maybe maybe you like to keep count. That's your prerogative. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I find myself to be a little more mature than that.
Weird. Yeah, I that number is just in my mind for some reason. 65. I have no idea why. No idea. But yes, welcome y'all to the Perfect Match. We are talking about episode 2 of season 16. Can't believe we're already here. Episode 2.
Yeah, we're already here, only halfway through the wedding.
Right. Halfway, barely.
Barely. No, I think we're literally halfway, because we're more than halfway. We're more than halfway. We're 3.25. We're 3.25 done.
Yes. Okay. Yes, that is fair. We are very excited to be here to talk about this episode. The episode may have not been that eventful, but there's still some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I posted in the Facebook group. I said, anyone else think these weddings are like extra dry? Because it was like not a lot happened here, compared to what we've gotten in the past.
Yeah, the gif of the desert was the perfect description of
exactly.
how dry
someone said dry like a Popeye's biscuit. I was like, yep, got it.
That's us.
Give me the water.
That's us after watching episode 2. But yes, if y'all, speaking of the Facebook group, make sure y'all go join. Look up Perfect Match Podcast on Facebook and join our Facebook group. We have a lot of fun in there. Everybody, that's your chance to get your voice heard. If you have opinions, you're listening to us and you're like, wait, I want to explain this, or I live in Nashville and I have more insight about this. Join the Facebook group. We'll talk about it there. Jason and I are always in there, lurking around, commenting, liking, laughing, Yeah, exactly. So this week, there is a password when you join. So this week, the password is...
Dang and dang it. Only the perfect names for your 2 boats.
Exactly. If you don't name your boats dang and dang it, what are you doing? Yeah. So go out there, join the Facebook group, put the password in, and you'll be gravy. Also, make sure you go subscribe to our feed. It's the Love at First Sight feed. Make sure you subscribe and go and leave us a 5-star rating and review. We greatly appreciate it when y'all give us some feedback. So we definitely want to highlight a couple here. So the first one I want to highlight is from, let's see, it is from Violet Owl 29. The subject line is always fantastic. Whether it's Love is Blind or MAFS, this podcast is always a joy. Aysha and Jason are always so prepared, professional, and full of great commentary and opinions. This podcast lets me feel like I'm just chatting with friends, and I love it.
I don't know about the Love is Blind stuff, but the MAFS I can agree with for sure. Yes. So wonderful. Thank you so much, Violet Owl. That was a great review. I don't know if we always keep our comments professional. So sometimes the show doesn't let us be professional. They make us talk about some like nasty stuff. But yes, thank you so much, Violet Owl.
Yeah, there are definitely some words on this podcast I wish I would have never said, but yeah. we are reporters here.
A lot of penetration talk last year. Hopefully we don't get that this year. So the one I want to do is from Lasky, titled Love This. It says, love this podcast. Hosts are so fun and interesting. I look forward to it each week. No lies detected. I would say 2 words to describe us are fun and interesting. So thank you so much, Lasky. Really on point review. Nice and short and sweet. I like that.
Right. Yeah. Even if you want to say something simple like, y'all are funny or y'all are great, only if you feel that way.
Silky, sultry, smooth, sexy voice. Something like that. Not exactly that, but you can leave that if you want.
Word for word.
I'm not stopping you.
Right. Exactly.
So, Aysha.
Yes.
I don't want to derail the podcast, but I guess I will. As described last episode, you got me a cameo from the one and only Mark the Shark for Christmas. Not one to be outdone. I said, what can I do to match that? Right?
Uh-oh.
Said, who's out there? I said, where can I find John? Where can I find her favorite MAFS personalities? Where can I find Johnny? Where can I find Zach? See if he remembers you from the club. Unfortunately, they're not on Cameo. But I do think I found someone.
Oh God,
that will fit the bill. Someone I know that you said that you like so much. So I did indeed get you a cameo from someone I think is one of your favorite cast members.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if you can,
Oh my God.
I've put it. Hold on, I've put it here in the in the thing.
Yeah, if y'all missed the first episode, we are on YouTube. So if you want to see this visual, please go to YouTube. We are on the RHAP has a podcast YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm so distracted because
Aysha sees who it is at this point. Yeah.
Go to the YouTube channel now. Drop here and go to the YouTube channel if you want to view this. But keep listening on the podcast if you just want to hear the audio. But we'll go ahead and play it. Okay.
One of your favorite MAFS cast members.
One of my favorite of all time. Yes.
When we're off mic, you said this person. Yeah, this person's one of your faves.
Yes. Okay. Let's take a look.
What is up, Aysha? It's your boy Luke from Married at First Sight. Probably the coolest, most famous, best person that's ever been on the show. Me and your boy Jason just want to say that we would never feel dead and repulsed inside doing a podcast with you. I had one for a few years. You have one now. It's a lot of fun. I love talking to people and getting to know, who they are. You could reach out to me, have me on. I can talk to you about the start of the new season, which I'm definitely not watching because this show might be just a little bit trash. I don't know. I am just very happy for you. Me and your boy Jason love you. Have a good one. Enjoy the pod.
So yes, that was indeed one of Aysha's favorite cast members, Luke of Luke and Kate, who Aysha's told me on many occasions. She loved the way he handled that situation and loved how he really presented himself. That's off mic. She's never said it on the podcast, but trust me, she said it. She says it almost every time we meet up. That Luke is one of her favorites. So I just figured I had to get her a Luke cameo.
Wow.
Aysha, how are you feeling? I did not tell him to say the show was trash. That's his own opinion.
It went off the cuff.
He went off the cuff on that one.
I consider me speechless.
Yeah.
If
let it out. How you feeling?
You can hear our true thoughts about that season as a whole because we did a countdown. We did the top 14, or we did a ranking of the first 14 seasons, right? So if y'all don't get the irony or the sarcasm in Jason's voice, please hear it.
No sarcasm. Luke is one of your faves.
One of my faves.
Okay.
Was he entertaining to watch on Married at First Sight? Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. And you said verbatim, I love how he handled himself I would have done the same thing. You told me that.
Is he my spirit animal?
Yeah, totally.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. So I'm sensing that you didn't like that. So I thought maybe this might happen. I don't know. It was short. I was like, what else can I do? So I tried something else. To maybe you like this one even better.
Oh God.
Now, before you play this one,
okay,
I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
This person that I booked went above and beyond what was asked of her. Okay.
Okay.
This is a cameo. This is how you do cameos. Okay. I think
I am excited about this one.
I think you're really gonna appreciate it. It is long, so I will tell you and the listeners and the viewers, it's very long. So strap in, get some popcorn. It's gonna be a minute. Okay. Go ahead and play whatever you want.
Okay, here we go.
Hi Asia, it's me, Bao from Lifetime's Married at First Sight, Season 13. How are you? Jason recently asked me to do this video for you. He said you guys host a MAFS podcast called A Perfect Match, and you guys are going to be doing this new season? Oh man, damn. So if you guys are keeping up, you probably saw the kickoff special. And I was on there to comment on one of the couples, and I was the only dissenting opinion. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know the outcomes, okay? I have no idea. I got to watch like the matchmaking stuff that everybody else got to watch. You know, there's no difference in what I'm watching. I don't have any special, access or anything. But just from what I've seen, I feel like the experts really had to stretch their reasoning for these matches, which is
Absolutely
very concerning to me.
You're correct, Val.
You know, I am forever a little bit of a cynic, a little bit a skeptic, but it comes with my territory. But at the same time, I always root for love, so I'm hoping for the best. Like, I'm hoping, really hoping that I'm wrong. But history would say otherwise.
True that.
You saw how my marriage went.
Yeah, it was not good.
Well, it's okay, because now I've got a much better love. Unconditional, and she can't escape.
For those not watching, she has her dog Tofu in her arms, almost choking it out.
My floofy prisoner.
A warm embrace.
I mean, you've got two babies of your own, Pepper and Cinnamon, and I hope one day that I can meet you in the dog park. I mean, you're a fellow Estonian, so it's only a matter of time. We've been visiting the dog parks on a regular basis. I try to take her at least 3 times a week because she's so full of energy, and I don't know how else I could manage it otherwise. She's still a puppy, so you probably are familiar with that. Yeah, if you have any tips, help me out here. But let me know if you can. Send me a message. Let me know what dog parks you tend to frequent. I've only just started exploring, because she's still a puppy. She's starting to adventure with me some more. But yeah, it would be so great if I get to meet you and Pepper and Cinnamon.
Yes.
It's funny because everyone in my life is like really surprised at how much I've embraced being a dog mom, because everybody has known me to be a cat lady. And I mean,
Ooh.
I'm still really deep down a cat lady, but now also a dog mom. I grew up with both, but personality wise, I definitely identified more as a cat. Hell, like this robe I'm wearing at home, I swear to God, I'm not naked underneath. There's clothing. I'm not being a perv. I'm not like some secret Hugh Hefner in a jungle.
Oh, we didn't think you were.
That's exactly what I was assuming.
But this robe, check it out.
Oh, that's cute.
It's cat robe, everybody.
It's a cat robe with ears. A red cat robe.
And I love it. So I'm wearing it all the time when I'm at home. I work from home, and
same.
When I'm not on a video conference call, this is comfortable, okay? I'm an adult. I do what I want.
That's right.
So yeah, but the thing that I think is kind of cool about dogs, because she's my newest obsession. I read a lot about recent studies into, you know, dogs and their owners and personalities.
I'm reading a
It's just
book right
really
now,
amazing to me that you know, like there's a recent, I don't, you probably know, you're a
Inside of
dog
a
owner,
Dog.
maybe you also read into this stuff. Um, but you know, studies show that, you know, dogs tend to be similar to their owners, not just in appearance but also personality. And there's a recent study that talks about how, like, it's possible that it's just a part of our narcissistic tendencies to selectively pick dogs that are more similar to who we are. So is it like, are you choosing a dog that's similar to who you are, or is the dog becoming more like you? And there's a mix, you know, there's studies that show dogs, their personalities evolve to be more like their owners. But at the same time, there's studies that show that owners select dogs that are more like them. So I can see both.
Which came
I
first, you
definitely
know?
can see both. Like initially when I picked her, I was like, I want this floofy, adorable, derpy dog. And everybody's like, but you're a cat lady and you're kind of cynical. Like, how is that? You know, when I read the article, I'm like, But then I thought more about it. And I really do think that Tofu is me without all the armor. You know, like
Oh,
at the
deep.
core of
That
it,
is deep.
I want all the love, all of the affection. I want, you know, I want to be hugged. I want to have all the friends. I am derpy. I am, you know, high energy, excited about life. Like that's really actually deep down behind all of this. That's me.
Yeah, take down the armor, Bao. Take down the facade.
Like dogs are our inner good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
100%.
that's a good way to look at it.
It's something to think about. I'm like, damn, over my life of 37 years, I've conditioned myself to be much more hard.
Okay, Belle.
Well, she's 37 now.
We gotta wrap this
physical
up.
affection and touch.
I feel like I'm having a
And,
conversation with
all
her.
it is like deep down, we all just want to be loved. And
That's absolutely
dogs aren't
true.
afraid to hide that. Like they're are not afraid to show it. And Tofu's no exception to that. Anywho, I'm just like thinking about it, and it's just really sweet. Like in some weird way, I brought Tofu home because I wanted something like after the whole debacle.
Johnny
I
and Zach?
wanted like something to love that would unconditionally love me back, and you know, something to care for. I had no idea how much she would change my life and my perspective on life. And so I really think dogs are special. They really are family members. They more than just enhance your life, they make your life better. And
I hope you're taking notes,
Cinnamon
Jason.
do that for you.
Oh,
I wonder if each of them displays certain aspects of your own personality. Let me know. And I'm seeing like comments about there being really cute dogs. I think every season now there's like more attention to the pets. And I love it. I love it. They're an extension of who you are. So cheers to this season. I really hope they make it out healthy.
No, they won't.
And
it's nice to hope.
And good luck to you guys on analyzing and your podcast.
Thank you.
Hope this was good for you.
Absolutely.
Did you want to say hi? We just say hi. Say hi. Ah! You're gonna be good. Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay. So bye to Aysha. Bye to Aysha. Bye, Aysha. Bye.
Why was that so amazing? I feel like she's our first guest from
for
Married
real.
at First Sight.
Yeah. I did not expect a therapy session, TED Talk. When I got the cameo, I was like, wow, this is a lot.
You're like, dang, Val.
Yeah, for real.
You're like, did I pay $100?
Right. So like I got the Luke cameo and I was like, wow, that was interesting. And then I had the Bao and I was like, okay, Bao earned her money. That was very fun.
That was amazing.
You need to see it's better visual. So I would suggest if those are listening, just take a quick look inside of the YouTube. It's at about Bao started about 10 minutes and she's now about 20 into the podcast. So if you want to see Bao giving the cameo, if you want to see Luke, it wasn't that great, but if you want to see Bao give the cameo, it's a really fun thing to see. You can see her dog tofu.
Seeing Bao was worth the split second on Luke.
She's inviting you to the dog park. I think you have to pursue that.
I honestly feel like I have a new friend.
Is she on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, send her a DM. Say, hey, this is Aysha from Perfect Match. What dog park are you at? Like, go ahead and be your stalkery self. I'm sure she wouldn't mind.
I'm surprised I haven't already sent the DM.
So, yeah, for real.
I'll be patient and wait until we finish recording, but I'm so excited.
I think it's sent already. I think you're BSing us. I think while Bao was talking, you were like, what's up, Bao?
Like, Bao, right now I'm watching your cameo.
For real. So
my gosh, thank you so much, Jason. That was amazing. Bao is great. She's really a joy.
Yeah, I mean, I know Luke is probably your favorite, but I figured it was so short. I needed to compensate. So
right.
Luke knows what he's doing, though. Luke knows what he's worth. Luke was only $10.
No. He said, "Hey, I'm going to the grocery store real quick. Let me get this cameo done
for real
quick."
in his car, like just chilling, and then took a big dump on the show. So yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Bao. If you so happen to ever see this, thank you so much. And then when I set up our play date with the dogs, I will thank you again.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, listen. Do we need to talk about the weddings? That was so great. You could probably just sign off, right?
Right. Yeah. So where can people find you? Really, y'all, if y'all didn't watch this episode, it was like, I don't understand how we're at filler already at episode 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the cast right now isn't giving what it should give right now. There's not enough wackiness, not enough fun. I don't know if it's filler or they just didn't have anything like
to show
interesting to show.
Yeah.
It's just the characters are not jumping out at us just yet. Well, let's give it some time. There was some stuff on After Party she was like, Nicole said she like spilled champagne all over her head to toe before the wedding. Where was that? That would have been great footage? To see. That would have been fun.
The scurry, like, oh, is she gonna be ready on time?
Yeah, maybe they didn't catch it on camera or something. I don't know. But yeah, the weddings were dry. Let's just put it out there. They were dry. They weren't very interesting. They were very kind of boilerplate. So let's just address the elephant in the room. Okay.
Yeah.
Weddings weren't fantastic. Okay.
Right.
But listen, most of us, we don't come to the show for the weddings anyway. We come for the drama after the weddings.
Right. We're just trying to push through right now, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to push through to episode 4.
We're trying to get to honeymoons. Okay.
Yes.
I really, really, really hope that all the weddings are wrapped up at the end of the next episode. I really, really hope they are.
I'm afraid we might have to do some receptions at the beginning of episode 4.
Yeah.
And then the meeting with the families and whatever drama there is with
we start with brunches. We start with brunches like in episode 4 probably.
Right.
So it looks like we at least get to Mac and Dom's part where they're like maybe the reception, because the next episode Mac is meeting up with her mother.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we get all the way past that wedding, get into the receptions. So hopefully we're done with weddings by episode 4.
Fingers crossed, because y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even. No, I don't want to do that. I was gonna say y'all don't even have to watch. Just listen to us and then turn the show back on.
We've had so many people tell us they don't just watch us anyway. They're so glad they don't have to watch the weddings. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Listen, we like to dive deep. Probably won't be diving too deep because there wasn't much to dive into.
Mm-hmm.
But let us pick up where we left off last episode, and that is the big moment where Kirsten turns the corner and sees Shaq down at the altar waiting for her.
Yes.
And And you know that picture that we had up last episode with the them posing together, that was about the look she had when she turned the corner to walk down the aisle. She did not look entirely impressed.
I was waiting for her to just make direct eye contact. I'm like, girl, it's like she saw him and then she's like, I'm gonna look everywhere but him. Like until I am right in front of him. She's looking at the audience, she's looking at the ground. She was probably, and then the moments it did seem like she was looking at him, she was probably looking at the officiant.
It seemed like she disassociated from reality, because she had just this blank stare, just like, yep, hi, I do, yes.
Yeah, because it's like, is this just how she handled awkwardness? Or I was trying so hard. She was so difficult to read. Of like, was this just a response to how she handles awkward situations? Or is she just not attracted to him?
She's also been accused, like, online of, as they call RBF. So, whatever. So yeah, she gets down the aisle. He is enamored immediately. He says, wow, God knew what he was doing when he made you. Gets laughs and applause from the audience. She says, thank you. She doesn't say, oh, you're very handsome. No, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody knows when you respond to a compliment with just thank you, you have nothing nice to say back. Exactly, because if someone's like, oh my gosh, I love your shoes. And then you look at their shoes, and you're like, thank you. That's like what she did. Because even on After Party, Gina was like, if he said God knew what he was doing when he made me, I would have been like, oh my gosh. That's like the ultimate compliment.
Kirsten looked at her like, okay. That's nice for you.
She's like, I look at myself in the mirror every day. I know.
Yeah. So we continue on with the ceremony. And I think one of the reasons why the weddings all felt dry to me was because the friends and family portion was not giving what it was supposed to give. We're supposed to get the family members throwing their people under the bus, like really just kind of giving it to them, telling us all the bad things about them. We always cringe at that, but it's such a fun moment of every wedding, usually. But we didn't really get that this episode. I mean, for instance, Kirsten's friends and family says she is the life of the party, stands firm on her confidence, and is a black queen. She knows all hot spots around town, so make sure that you step out in your finest drip, which of course we know Shaq will do. But yeah, just it was like, oh, that was nice.
Like, okay, yeah,
cool. Shaq's friends and family says, he is classy, always dressed to the nines. And as I predicted this in the Facebook group, where I said, I hope Shaq and Kirsten are prepared to share closet space. That's exactly what they said. I hope you're prepared to share closet space with Shaq, because he's got a lot of clothes.
Which is kind of telling. You're able to say the same thing his family and friends said. And we've known him for a few episodes. Come on.
They said Shaq has got a lot in his life, but he's got only one thing missing. That's you. Cue the awes. Oh,
so sweet.
Yeah. So we then get the vows that Shaq and Kirsten each prepared to say. Kirsten, pulled the patented, I'm gonna pull it out from my dress. She says, she compliments him and says, it takes a brave man to marry a stranger. She looks like a beauty a lot of times, but it can sometimes be a beast. But she will give grace as needed and will do her best to express her feelings and give this marriage her all. Shaq's,
another thing that reminds me, like, as I'm like analyzing, as Bao said,
yeah.
As I'm analyzing her, even while she's saying these vows, she strikes me as someone who would be very smitten if she is attracted to him, right? Like, I could see her like blushing, or like look like if she was really attracted to him, looking at him while she's talking. That girl said, "Hi, Shaquille," looked at her paper, and it was done. That's what I had prepared.
And that's all. Fold it up, put it back in. Okay. Now, if only Shaq had just some hair, like it's a short haircut like mine, I think would she have been attracted?
She would have loved. She said short hair and short beard.
Beard, perfect.
Literally, yeah.
Kirsten, I don't want to talk too loudly. There are people in the house that may hear me, but hey, Nashville's not that far away from Maryland.
No. Your wife does not want to have to fight Kirsten.
And she will. Just kidding. I am kidding. Anyway, yes. I have to wonder if Boris Kojo was standing up there, would she have had the same reaction?
No. Then it would have been, I love bald men.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's something else about Shaq maybe that is throwing her off in the immediate thing where she's seeing him.
Right. Like people need to stop that. Like get past, like the one attribute is not the reason that you were turned off from their appearance, because that attribute on a different person, like we just pointed out, would be like, oh my gosh, that works.
If looks are going to ruin it for you, your journey on Married at First Sight, then you are in the wrong place. Like that should not be where you are.
A lot of people are in the wrong place.
A lot of people have been in the wrong place on this show. Yeah. We know. All right, Shaq's vows. He says, hello, newest best friend. Says he will always respect her and be her strength when she is weak. I will keep the spark in all the years to come because they will be lit. Oh, so sweet. And like,
did you notice her face as he's talking about, I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together. This is only the start of our journey for the rest of our lives. She just looked like the smile was just painted on her face.
She had this vacant look that was just like, how am I going to get out of this? Like,
yeah, please stop talking.
Where are the exits right now? Like, is there an exit behind me? If I just turned around and took off, could I get out of here? Should I do that? That's probably not a good look. That's probably what she's thinking in her mind. Like, as he's talking, she doesn't hear what he's saying. It's just like, would it look real bad if I just took off right now?
Can I really do 8 weeks? Is 8 weeks really a long time?
How long do I have to stick this out before I can say I actually tried?
Right. Which I feel so bad because it's not even like Shaq's not how she's picturing. Like she like on After Party clearly said she just wasn't, the attraction was not there. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There, like we said on the last podcast, there are plenty of women who would find Shaq attractive. I don't think he's.
If you turn the corner and Shaq was up at the altar, how would you feel?
I'm not getting married at first sight.
Oh, that's a deflection. That's a deflection. Y'all saw that. Y'all heard that. That's a deflection.
If I'm getting married at first sight and I turn the corner, I see him. See, I care so much about personality. I don't care how attractive you are.
Here we go.
If you have an awful personality, that makes you unattractive. So it's like,
I don't recall you saying that when you're giving Taryn your list on the Taryn show a while back.
They weren't all physical attributes.
Okay. If you say so, AJ. If you say so. I was looking to you to like be like, oh, I would be all about it if Shaq was down there. Shaq seems like a good guy. You were like, I'm kind of with Kirsten on this.
No, I would not have reacted how Kirsten has. I would have been. Would I have been like super smitten? No, but would I have been like, okay, we're doing this, like, kind of like.
Listen, we're giving Kirsten a bunch of crap, but she didn't frown. She just was kind of like,
she wasn't mean.
I'm here.
Yet.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah,
she was not excited. Like I think everyone can tell that. So I mean, we're giving her a bunch of crap. They didn't match
each other's energy.
We're giving her a bunch of crap, but she wasn't Alyssa coming down the aisle, obviously disappointed.
Yeah.
So I mean, we would want to go too hard on Kirsten right now.
Yeah.
But the time does come. We do the final vows and we do the "You May Kiss Your Bride." Shaq goes to get the kiss, and I said it was edited weird in the preview. I said I think she might give him the real kiss, but no, she stuck with the cheek. She said, "No, you can go right here, baby, on the cheek," and that's all he got.
Yep.
So yeah, hey.
And I heard you saw her friend react. And was
Oh
like,
yes, that
"Ooh,
was so
God."
good. She was like, "Oh my gosh, oh
Yeah,
no."
I knew what she said going into this.
Yeah.
If if she
such a
gave the cheek, it's not a
such a
good
good
sign.
mini like moment there. Like, oh my
Yes,
gosh, she
it
going
said
on
so
her
much.
she going on her BS already.
Yeah.
So they back down the aisle. They come out in a confessional. Shaq says, I've never played ball, but I got a ring. Okay, weird. So they're walking together to the little sitting area so they can sit down and have their talk. She comments on his Hunter Green. She knew it was Hunter Green. They should be perfectly made for each other. He talks about he talks about how he made his bow tie himself. She's like, oh, okay, creative. We get a confessional. Yay! We get a confessional from him that says, hey, she kissed me on the cheek, but that's cool. That's a sign of good boundaries, and I respect it. He says, wow, made me say, wow, you're different. You're different. He's really trying to dress up this turd.
That's how you make lemonade out of water.
Out of water?
It just well, I guess you can make lemonade out of water. That's how you make.
It's lemonade out of lemons, I think.
No, that's the correct saying. But he made something out of nothing.
Oh, something out of nothing. Okay.
Yeah. He said, I'm gonna wrap
turn this water into wine.
Yes. He said, I'm gonna spin this to make me feel better.
He said it's a good thing. That means she respects herself.
She's different.
She doesn't just kiss any man. She's a good one.
She is a gem. Yes. That's what I got from that. She gave me that cheek, and that told me everything.
Yep.
Meanwhile, she's like, he didn't ask.
Right. You're not asking for consent, sir. They sit down, they swap stories. He talks about his job, how he works at TSU. She's like, oh, my dad likes sports. So they swap stories. He tells her about the big accident he had as a kid, about his scar on his head. In confessional, she says, well, he is bald and he's younger than me. So that's 2 strikes right there. But
she was shocked at him being born in 91.
Shocked. She said, you're younger than me? She said, but ... personality outweighed the exterior looks for me. I said, I know you're trying to be complimentary, but that was bad.
Right. It could be one thing, like, if she's just like, I don't even know how you nicely just say, like, okay, hey guys, just so you know, I am not attracted to him physically. However, but it's just like, I don't know. Because she said even
I think the best thing to do is not to say
it. True.
The best thing to do is not to say it, I think.
Because I'm trying to think, was it Jose and Rachel from the Houston season, from Bow season, where she wasn't initially, she was just like, she complimented his personality over his looks.
Yeah, that was because he was short.
Which people are kind of pegging, or like they're placing that on Eris. I haven't seen his height for real.
I think not really, because I think his one buddy is very tall. But I think we'll see when he and Jasmine are together, like how the heights match up. Yeah. So yeah, he has 2 strikes already against him. I know what the 3rd strike is going to be, and it's going to be the 3rd leg. Let me just say it like that. If he's got, because she's very, very fixated on the length of her mate's member.
Too fixated, if you ask me. Getting married at first sight.
Yeah, she said it again on after
take
party.
What you can get.
It's not
on Married at First Sight.
Listen, Kirsten. It's not about what you got. It's about how you use it, Kirsten. I mean, come on. She's with the wrong guys. She's been with the wrong guys, obviously. She even said it on after party. She's like, well, you can't magically fix the length of your penis, is what she said on after party. She is fixated on this.
And that, you know what that reminds me of? How Alexis was talking last season and on the after party, because just like, you're not talking that recklessly if you are with that person.
Well, I mean, she wasn't talking about Shaq's member at that time. She was just talking about what she likes
in general.
Yeah, in general. But Kirsten and Shaq are not together. Let's be real. That was not her temperament and her way she was speaking on After Party was not oh yeah, I'm still with him and I really love him. That was like I don't talk to him anymore type of talking.
That's what's so tough about the After Party, because it's like, okay, obviously we're gonna read into how they're acting. I know they're talking as if it's present tense, but it's so hard to hide the funk.
Yeah, I got reads off of all three ladies. Like Gina was not having with Clint. Now Nicole, she loved that boy. I think they are together and happy at this moment.
You could have given Nicole any one of these 5 husbands, and that woman would have been overjoyed.
For sure.
She wanted to be married, and she is very happy, and that shows through. Like even on After Party, which is the attitude you have to have going into this. You're going in with this specific mindset. You're setting yourself up for disappointment, because what are the odds they're going to find exactly what you're looking for?
You have to take Dr. Pepper's words into account when she says, well, it wasn't working for you before with what you were doing, right? So take what we give you.
Yeah.
So just to wrap up Shaq and Kirsten, he tells her about his job and about his mentoring. She finds out his last name, which really tells her she was not listening during the ceremony, because I'm sure they said it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
In confessional, he says she seems really sweet, and he got what he expected in his black queen. He really wanted a black queen, and that's what he got. And that's all Shaq and Kirsten for this episode.
Yeah, so something we're doing this episode is we're last episode we said, are they ready or not ready on an individual basis. This episode, we're going to predict if they will consummate or they won't consummate on their wedding night.
Yeah, first night.
Okay, first night. So if you're on the YouTubes, on the YouTubes, on
the fangled YouTubes. How they doing that moving picture into my computer?
If you are watching us, we will hold it up. But if you're listen to the podcast, then just listen up. We have either, what are our options, Jason?
We have, if they're going to consummate on the first night, we have a let's get it on. If not, hey, hold up, bro. We ain't doing that tonight.
All right. So
let's be real. If there's anyone stopping it, it's the ladies saying, hold up, bro.
Right.
With this cast.
If anybody is torn on this couple, I mean,
yeah, it's pretty obvious, I think.
Yeah. So what do you think? 1, 2, 3. Hold up, bro.
Not happening.
On both accounts. There's
not
no
happening. She might pull we gotta sleep in separate hotel rooms tonight on his.
She's like, it's too soon. It's Boris Kojo. Oh, absolutely. What you doing
absolutely.
Way over there?
Let's go. Skip the reception. Get up to the room. Right. Exactly. It was Boris Kojo standing up there. I mean, so listen, someone that an African American couple, the woman who not really digging it, trying to fake the funk for the time being, and the male, a kind of who we see so far as a stand-up guy, trying his best. Am I talking about Kirsten and Shaq? Or am I talking about Michael and Jasmina?
I was about to say Jasmina and Michael. I know that's what you thought about Michael, but
let's not have that debate again. Let's not start that over again, okay? I don't want to get cussed out by viewers and listeners.
That feels like so long ago, but we were only talking about them a year ago.
Yeah,
last January.
That's Kirsten and Shaq.
Well, really, like last January through May. Yeah. Okay. So next up, let's talk about a couple we got, less than 2 minutes on.
Yeah.
So we're flying them. Dominique and McKinley. So all we got from them this episode was their dress shopping and their suit shopping. So on Dominique's side, when she went dress shopping, she was looking for something that was like sexy and classy and a little sassy. Something just reflected her. And she ends up finding a dress. She's very happy with it. And she talks about her mom being her best friend again, talking about how it's just been them two her whole life. And, we know her mom signed her up for this, and her mom is just tired of the guys that she's been picking. So she just thought that this would be the best route. And Dominique, the line that just blew me away. Look, back in the old days, girls were getting married at 14.
Dominique, there's a reason we stopped that. Okay, because that was bad, Dominique.
I was so caught off guard. I was like, wait, how did we get there?
Well, that's the classic old soul. That's how they feel. Back in my day, 14-year-olds were getting married. That's what her soul says. Not her body. Her soul says that. I mean, it shocked me, and I was like,
absolutely,
that's quite a thing to say. Like,
it was like, where did this come from? Where did that come from? I couldn't make sense of it. Of her thinking, oh, that's the way it used to be. So naturally, me at my age, she's 25, right? Mm-hmm. Me at 25, I'm totally ready to get married at first sight.
I'm 9 years older than the lowest marrying age. Obviously,
so I'm been ready.
Yeah, I should have been done this 8 years ago.
So, yeah, Dominique definitely threw me off guard.
That's a cold take, Dominique. That's a cold take. That's a cold take. What's the problem? 14-year-olds?
Please don't say that again. Please
don't do it.
Dom, that is
it's gonna come out again at some point. When someone approached her about her being 25 and married, she's like, well, you know what? 14-year-olds used to get married, so what's the problem? It was such a problem, we stopped it, Dominique.
Right.
I'm all for cutting off the age to 30 to get married, to be honest with you, because some of y'all don't know how to act out there that are below your 30s. Some of y'all in your 30s don't know how to act. So it's Dominique.
That was just no, girl.
If you needed a way to tell that Dominique is not ready,
that line right there.
That's it.
Literally.
Just play that back at the reunion. Be like, we all knew at this moment that you were not ready, that this was gonna crash and burn.
Just when I thought it was gonna be a very boring episode for them, she said that one thing, and I just was like, girl, let me. Do I have to get my not ready once again? For her,
not happening. Not happening. Not ready.
Gosh. So for her soon-to-be spouse, McKinley, he went suit shopping. He tried on this blue suit, and
what? Why? So what is this new? What is this a trend that
apparently
that us men have to show ankles now? Is that what's happening? So I'm not showing anybody my ankles. I wear long socks every day. No one's seeing my ankles.
Yeah, it seems like it's like hey, look, I'm not a fashion girl, but it seems like that's what some guys are doing.
It's weird. I don't like it.
You're like, no.
Put your socks on. I don't want to see them. Get your pants lengthened to cover the top of your shoes. Let's be. I don't know what the trend is, and it's upsetting to me.
Yeah. Apparently.
Call me old. Call me whatever you want to call me.
You old soul.
I have such an old soul. I believe you should cover your ankles.
Yeah. Mac talks about how he's more introverted than extroverted, which we knew. He just can't wait to have somebody to go camping with or stay in and do stuff like binge Netflix, which, yeah, relatable.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Dom is the one for that, though.
She wants G&O. Girls' night out, as we all say. We all say G&O. I literally have never said that in my life. But G&O.
Girls, I'm flying you all to Paris for a GNO. I'm sure that was Aysha Welch saying. No?
Oh, Right? No.
Okay. You say so.
Lastly, he says like he just wants to set some roots in Nashville. Because they're kind of talking about like the future and does he see himself in Nashville long term? Not much learned from
No,
Mac this
not at
episode.
all. Not at all.
So just one key thing from Dom. It's hard because they haven't met. So can we even rate them?
No, we can't do anything with them.
Yeah.
For right now, we not until they interact. I think.
Right. I mean, we keep getting that preview of her not remembering his name.
Yeah,
which is a tough one.
I didn't remember his name last episode, so I don't really blame
What were
her.
you calling him before we started recording?
Mackenzie, I think is what I called him. So I can't really blame her.
I had to set the record straight before we hit record. So yeah, that's it for them. Yeah, I stretched it as long as I could.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We need to save some time from the Bao cameo, so it's a good place to cut time.
Yeah, between that would be a normal segment.
Yeah,
Bao's cameo plus this section for Dom and Mac.
100%. Next up, we're going to go over to Nicole and Chris. We get the dress and tuck shopping, of course. She says she's so excited that she has sweat just dripping down her legs. And please do not show the sweat dripping down her legs. She promises to us it is not pee. And what do the camera operators do? They go right down to her legs. We don't see
this is a perfect
sweat,
opportunity to break the fourth wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're seeing the light set up and everything just so they can show her whole body in the. I was like, why are they trying to play her?
Trying to play her like a fool. Production obviously does not like Nicole. She says she doesn't usually like shopping. She gets frustrated because she can't find what she wants and tells us about a time when she went to a shopping mall and later cried because she literally couldn't find anything that she wanted. Normal behavior, Asia, or no?
Not quite. Yeah. Just maybe like a little bit, of anxiety. With like, when with shopping specifically. But yeah, I want her to know her limits because, you're doing some shopping and then you're an hour in, you're not having any luck. Don't spend the rest of the day there.
Yeah, just cut your losses.
Yeah.
Cut your losses. Go to Amazon when you get home. You'll be fine.
Right. I'm like, because I can relate. I don't like shopping. But I only shop when I like need something specific to go shop for. Like I have a wedding coming up, so let me go buy something specific for that. I'm not going to just browse to fill my closet.
Got to find a swimsuit for Pepper or next beach, birthday party, whatever you got.
I know Pepper has a swimsuit, but Cinnamon doesn't. So some shopping needs to be done.
Exactly. She tells us whenever she dated before, no one wanted to commit to her, and deep down, she wonders if there's something wrong with her, and hope that her personality does not scare her prospective husband away. If he already sees her and doesn't like her looks, she hopes her personality doesn't scare him away permanently. Nicole, come on, pep yourself up. Don't say that about yourself. You're a beautiful young lady.
Yeah, she's really psyching herself out. Like it's like she's preparing herself for like, if this doesn't work out, I'm afraid it's because of me.
Yeah, I mean, some insecurities are starting to show through about, possibly about her image, her looks, and then also her personality. Listen, of all the ladies, I'm starting to like Nicole the best at this point. She's really a firecracker. I really enjoy her.
I enjoy her more than I thought I would, actually.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to be a lot to handle. I mean, didn't she kind of reminded us a little bit of Mark the Shark, Lindsay.
Yeah, she reminds of a nicer Lindsay.
Right. But I really enjoy her. I think she's going to be that breath of fresh air. Our relief couple.
Yeah, and I don't think she'll be as crass as Lindsay is.
Mm-hmm.
I think she'll just talk a lot, which is what we really linked with Lindsay. She likes to talk a lot. I maybe even would say she might remind me more of a Lindy instead of a Lindsay. Lindy was very kind of eccentric and talkative and kind of quirky.
Yeah, but I liked her. Like I enjoyed, like Lindy made me laugh.
Yeah. I think Nicole is more of that than a Lindsay. We go over to Chris. Chris talks about how, he's scared of rejection. He really wants to give off a first impression so that she doesn't turn around and walk down the other way down the aisle. These two are very simpatico in this type of thing. They're so scared to that the person that they're getting married to isn't going to like them and going to run off. I'll save my thoughts for in a second when I'm done with them. All right.
Mm-hmm.
He says, in the past, women have said I'm too nice, but I'm a hopeless romantic, very selfless, and I've been taken advantage of, and thinks the experts will do a better job picking mates than he has. I wouldn't go that far, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
He first comes out.
Name them.
Yeah. Give me some examples. You haven't seen the show, obviously. Tell me you haven't seen the show without telling me you haven't seen the show.
Right.
He first comes out in a navy blue tux, which is very ill-fitting. Too tight for him to dance. He says, this doesn't seem to be it. She comes out in her first dress. She says, this isn't the dress. It's not doing anything for me. She walks out. Now, the tux and dress shopping has become kind of the place for family members to vent about their family member while the person they're there for is going to go get dressed.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk crap about you as you're going to go try on dresses.
Yeah.
So mom tells her friend, my fear is she has so much energy and she's going to need somebody to really rein her in. You know how much I hate that. I hate when people say they have to rein them in, have to keep them in check.
Mm-hmm.
You're a grown adult. Nobody should have to rein you in. Be cognizant of what you're saying, who you're saying around. Anyway.
Right.
So come back to him. He comes out in a gray suit, which seems to be all the rage among these men. This one passes the test. He says he never felt so good in a suit. In a suit, he thinks he looks sexy. He tells us about a time where he hit a walk-off home run when he was a kid, and this feels better than that. And he hopes that he is her walk-off home run. Very nice.
This is the first of two times that Chris refers to his childhood sports career, and it makes me a little concerned that he hasn't had recent highlights.
Yeah, he peaked when he was 7.
Right? That's what it's giving, and it's a little concerning, because it just so naturally comes out that's the first thing top of mind.
Is this one time 20 years ago when I hit a home run that I can never replicate that feeling for myself in the last 20 years. Yeah.
When I was 7, I have never felt that great.
Yes, that was it. That was the peak of my career, my successes.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. She finally finds her dress. She says, "This is the one. Feels like a dream. Feels like she's giving the best version of herself to the world in that dress." She says that she really wants to make him smile when he sees her walking down the aisle. The friend says, "Are you going to be open to whatever he looks like?" She says, "Yes, I will be open. He'll really get to know my heart, as well as I'm really going to get to know his heart, as well as his whole body." Okay. All right, Nicole, calm down. Let me get the hose on you. Wedding day comes. Everyone comes to her hotel room. Not a lot of jumping on the bed in this cycle of Married at First Sight.
Yeah,
no, we're here. Hey, jump on the bed. She says she woke up excited and happy. But there's a pit in her stomach, and she hasn't been in love since Bennifer was a thing the first time.
What a current reference.
How old were you, Nicole, when Bennifer was a thing the first time? I think you were 7 or 8.
Hasn't it been 20 years?
Yeah, I think you were 7 or 8 when Bennifer was a thing the first time.
Right.
You're not that old. Calm down. Someone gave you that reference and you stole it.
Yeah, let me see. The Bennifer timeline. Yeah. Complete 20-year timeline of the Bennifer saga. So 20 years ago, Nicole, you were in elementary school, maybe?
That was Nicole Love the first time.
Right.
And for those that don't know, where have you been? And you're living on the rock. Bennifer, we're talking about Ben Affleck and J-Lo.
Yeah. And if you don't know J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez.
If you don't know Jennifer Lopez, Jenny from the Block.
Jenny from the Block.
If you don't know Jenny from the Block, it's a fly girl off In Living Color.
And if you knew that Bennifer was a thing at one point and you didn't know they were, the reason we're saying first time is because they're back together. Is this Mess Magnets? Look at us doing pop culture.
Yes, there we go. Crossover. Okay, so yeah, she says that she's really concerned that she's going to come in too hot with her personality, and usually she would be a 200, but she's going to try and take it down to an 80 instead. But something tells me Nicole's 80 is like everyone else's like 500.
Literally, I was like, why can't you? If you're normally a 100, just try to be a 100 because it's going to be harder for you if you typically would be a 200 on this type of day.
Yeah.
Why would you take it down 120? The math was not mathing.
The scale isn't right. The scale's
No.
off.
No.
So Chris and his groomsmen enter the little hotel room he has to get ready. He talks about how, the dating app scene hasn't worked out for him, and the only women he found were women that play games and ghost him. And now is the time to try something different. Then there's this like really odd, like awkward scene where like two of his other groomsmen enter. They just kind of stand around awkwardly. He's like, "Have you eaten?" He's like, "No, I haven't really eaten." He's like, "You really got to eat." What? Like, talk about filler. Like, why was this in the like? He is that boring that you have nothing else to show except for this really weird, awkward like interaction between him and his friends. I was like, why is this in here?
The way I literally thought that it was so boring and awkward that it felt that way in the moment. Like I literally had to sit there and say, why are we watching? Why are we watching
Did they accidentally add this into the like final cut of the episode? Like, what is happening?
Did they forget to just like show them opening the door, cut to conversation? No, we had them opening the door, walk in, hug each friend.
Yeah. Hey man, what's up? Like just like everyday talk. Like, why is this in the show? Like,
exchange pleasantries.
Is it like we have to explain how these two men got here? We can't just cut to them being his groomsmen. We have to show them enter the scene. Like,
there will be questions if they just pop in the room.
That's a plot hole. We have to fix it. Do you have the footage of those two guys coming into the room? Like, yeah, but we didn't think to add it because it was a nothing scene. Like, we have to get it in there. We have to explain how these two guys came into the room because we first see the room and he and just his brother walk in. We have to explain how these other two guys got here.
It's as if there was no other way to segue into the eating part.
No other way.
And they had to show him reference once again, back when I used to have my big games, I didn't eat. And then my adrenaline would take over and I would be fine.
Yeah, don't want to throw up on the bride. So I'm not going to eat anything. Like literally just an offhanded comment. He's like, have you eaten anything? He's like, nope, haven't eaten yet. He's like, oh man, you really got to eat something.
Is he going to get lightheaded? Like maybe we're being too hard. Maybe there's going to be, this is going somewhere.
Maybe he's going to faint on the wedding night. Like before they go into the hotel room, he's going to be like, oh.
And like, Nicole is like, you got to eat something, babe.
Good thing I brought this banana that I keep in my pocketbook at all times.
And then that's going to be their first obstacle. And she helped nurture him and take care of him on their first night together.
It's going to be like when Mark tried to hold back Lindsay from fighting Elijah on the plane a couple seasons ago. It's really going to bond them together.
Yes. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, I thought that too. I thought I was alone because I was like, wait a second. Why is this happening?
Why is behind the scenes footage inside of the episode? So we cut back to Nicole. Nicole's mom says, I'm really excited for you, but I'm nervous that he's not going to appreciate you for who you are. She reminds her not to rush into anything tonight. Get a good night's sleep. Be a lady. But Nicole being Nicole, she says, well, I at least got to see what he's working with. But she says, I don't want to have sex with him because I don't want it to be weird when he meets my family after he has defiled their daughter. Okay.
That was a lot.
They should have cut that too. I don't know why that was in there.
Right. I think they're just trying to show how Nicole will say anything because they're including it all. Don't show the sweat running down my thighs.
She has
that
no
was
filter.
Just a lot.
No filter.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that mom clocks too. Like, yeah, you're a lot. So maybe calm down.
You're like, just chill a little bit.
Yeah. So, we see a guy come into the bridal suite with a gift for Nicole. She opens her gifts. They're obviously from Chris. She gets her wedding ring. Okay, interesting. There is no James Allen call out. We only see the ring. We don't get a close up of the ring. We don't get a close up of the ring box.
Like, I squinted to have to see that it was James Avery.
It's not James Avery. That's Uncle Phil. I told you this last season. James Avery was Uncle Phil on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's James Allen.
James Allen. Okay.
Not Uncle
I literally
Phil.
saw James and I wrote James Avery.
Not Uncle Phil. Yeah, so maybe
James Avery is there is a jewelry that is a tough word. There is an artisan jewelry. Sure. Artisan jewelry company named James Avery.
That's true, but he's better known as Uncle Phil.
Oh, yeah.
But it is James Allen.
Okay, yes. JamesAllen.com.
But James Allen didn't seem to pay their sponsorship bill or something, because they were not featured in this as they have been in the past couple seasons. Past couple seasons, you've had the guys peeking out the ring on the website, because as we all know, JamesAllen.com is the place to go for lab created diamonds that your woman or man will love.
3 to 4 easy steps.
Yep. James Allen may not have paid to be on Married at First Sight, but he paid to be on this podcast. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
But James, if you're out there, James Avery, James Allen, whoever, give us a call. James Avery's dead, but he can call from beyond the grave.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Uncle Phil. She loves the ring, gets emotional. She got him a picture frame and also a blue cyanide crystal that helps with communication, fear removal, and connection. He also gets a letter from her that says he is excited. His letter to her says that he is excited. And she says, "Oh, he said there's multiple parts to this. I also put multiple parts." They also gave each other these type of stones. She got him a bracelet made of moon. No, he got her a bracelet made of moonstone that represents strength, hope, and clarity. He also got her a diamond necklace, which she was very impressed by. She says, "Oh my God, I love him already. And no man in my life has ever put this much thought into something for me. And this has been what she's hoping for and already cares about her more than any man she's ever picked. And that is why she's marrying a stranger." I said, "Oh, Nicole, I'm so sorry that no man has ever cared about you like this much to get you like this nice gift." I felt bad for her at this moment.
Yeah, she's the same one that hasn't dated or kissed anyone or anything
for like 2 years
since being in Nashville.
Yeah, I felt bad for her at this moment, because she took this and was so excited about it, and so enamored with this, with this gift and this person already, because she's been treated so poorly in the past, apparently.
Yeah.
I did clock that it was a diamond necklace, and I got flashbacks to Jake and Haley. Aren't you wearing the bracelet I got you? I spent a lot of money on that. Why? Where is it? Is it even in this house? Is it in the room? Where is it?
Yeah, I mean, and hey, with her, she said, "Look, I can already wear it." Yeah, she said, "I'm not even wearing a necklace. I can wear it now."
Haley was like, "This don't match what I'm wearing. Stick it in the bag."
Yeah, I never came home with her.
Never.
But this was
my mom.
Yeah. I thought it was so sweet that she appreciated this so much, because that's exactly what he would have wanted. Like, he put that much effort into, like, I'm sure he thought very specifically about what he was going to give her, and she had the exact reaction that he would want to watch back, to be like, okay, that's exactly how I would have wanted my future wife to react to this. So it's like,
did he think that much into it though? It's a diamond necklace.
I don't think he didn't do a diamond necklace. It's all of it. The card was handwritten in long, many words. And then even the moonstone had representation that he included the meaning with it.
Yeah.
So I feel like he did. I mean, I don't think it was
like Chris did a great job.
Stop at Walmart real quick.
But he couldn't cater it to her because he didn't know who he was shopping for.
Right. Absolutely. But she's like, it's like he talked to my best friends and asked exactly what I wanted. So I was like, hey, this they're looking like the best pairing that the experts did this season.
As of right now, they're the front runner for me.
Yeah,
for sure. I think of all the couples, they may be the only one that are probably still together in my mind at this moment. Things can obviously change, but wow, they seem to be really kind of matched well.
I mean, she already said she would do this whole thing over 1,000 times, and she hasn't even met him.
Exactly. We go back to Chris. He says, worst case scenario, I get someone that's selfish and narcissistic. He says he hopes that she has a nice smile, hopes that she's not taller than him, because then at that point, who would be the little spoon? So he also threatens to do some impressions at the altar, and then does really bad impressions of Arnold Schwarzenegger, which we heard before. And then he pulls out friggin' Morgan Freeman. Sir, no. No.
Oh gosh. Yeah, these impressions, man.
They are terrible.
They're so
They are bad.
Because what got me really was him saying, I'm such a laid back guy. People don't usually expect impressions.
They don't expect to be so funny and so good in impressions. Yikes.
I'm like, that's his one hat trick.
What comes with you being such a nice guy, Chris? Comes with the fact that people don't want to, make you feel bad by telling you your impressions stink.
Right. Because how do you do that? Like as he's doing the impression, he enjoys it so much. How can you be that one friend that's like, bro, you gotta stop?
That was trash. Don't do that.
Right.
But that's a good friend, though. A good friend should tell you your impressions are trash, because then you're just going to keep embarrassing yourself by doing it on national television. Someone before he got to national television should be like, look, Chris, I love you, bro. I know I've told you that your impressions are good, but I can't have you coming out here on camera and embarrassing yourself like this. So I have to tell you, don't do the impressions. They're bad. Okay? That's what a good friend would have done.
His friends seem like they handle him with like care.
Yeah, kid gloves.
Yeah.
So she says she comes out in her dress, ready to walk down the aisle. She's ready to be a wife. She's looking forward to the little things like him cooking for her, grocery shopping, and just being there with her at the end of the day. He walks down the aisle with his mom. He gets to the front. He's obviously nervous. The officiant tells him, just relax, he's so nervous. He's like, you all look great. He's like, I'm just kind of nervously ranting right now as he's talking to all the people in the audience. She's outside ready to go in. All her friends are there with her. Friends tell her to keep an open mind. Mom and the bridesmaids walk down the aisle, go sit in the audience. Her dad comes out to get ready to walk her down the aisle. He says, I know you're not going to get hurt because you're tough. But my biggest concern is that you won't be my little girl anymore. She says he will never replace you, Dad. We're only going to make room in my heart for him. He's never going to replace you. Very nice.
Sweet.
The big moment comes. She says before she walks down the aisle, she says, what if he's boring or thinks that I'm too much? I don't want to waste my one and only marriage on a failure. You think this is like foreshadowing? What if he's boring? Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
But it's hard for me to see her identify someone as boring. Like she has enough energy for the both of them.
Yeah, I think she'll make whoever she's with fun. Like I think that's her thing.
As long as he's listening, I think she's fine.
As long as he's listening and talking back at some point, I think that they'll be fine. Yeah.
Chuckle. Yeah. Look at her. I think
I think she'll appreciate his bad impressions, honestly.
Oh, she's probably gonna fall over laughing.
Yeah, it's so cute. Oh my god. It's so bad and cute.
That's why I think she's so good for him.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah. She walks down the aisle with Dad. They find out each other's names, and we already knew that he guessed her name, but apparently she guessed his name as well. How is that possible? That is crazy.
What? Like literally, what are the odds? Pick a name out of the air.
It's a random, regular name.
Right. That's
Chris. Nicole.
I'm seeing Chris.
The odds are in your favor. I mean, I gotta say, but dang, that's impressive.
Right. It's like, imagine Katino's like, I'm seeing an Olajuwon.
I'm seeing like a old school basketball player. Not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Elijah Wan. I think that's what it is.
It's gotta be it.
Gotta.
I'm seeing an O.
Seeing a K. Katrina? No.
No.
Close, but
different.
not it. Gotta take out the R, I think. Right. But he had trouble remembering her name.
What's even knew her name?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, that actually blew my mind, because I'm like, for him to just randomly guess Nicole, that was already just like, whoa, okay, weird.
Yep.
Okay. And then for her to say, I thought Chris, what?
Did she think Chris, but she also thought every other regular name in the book? And then, like, thought maybe it was a Chris? David? John? Jim?
Luke?
Chris was one of the names I said, though.
Right.
For sure.
Chris was on my list of 200.
Yes, exactly.
For sure. Yeah.
We go to the friends and family portion. Nicole's friends and family say that she is a motor mouth, and she is a member of the FBI, full-blooded Italians. That's a knee slapper. Yeah, she could be a handful, but she's a handful of kindness. And one time, she even surprised her mom with a stripper. Make sure that you keep her on her toes. Okay. Chris's friends and family says he is loyal, kind, gentle, affectionate, and caring. He weighs the pros and cons.
Also, pepper and cinnamon are those things as well.
The most basic you can ever be.
Yeah.
Weighs pros and cons, but can overthink, and someone needs to put him in his place. What is with all the putting in places of everyone? He is a talker. And she's like, oh, that's great. We're never going to shut up. People are just going to watch us shut up all the time. They say Chris has 2 babies. She looks scared. See, have real human children? And then we find out they are fur babies. Each one 90 pounds.
That's a big dog.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when they showed his dog, I was like, damn, like that. The dogs are probably taller than Nicole.
Yeah, for perspective.
Yeah. If they sit up on their hind legs.
22 pounds, and Cinnamon is like 12 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
I could not imagine. I could pick them up with one hand. Yeah, literally. 90 pounds. They do have one friend.
Wait, hold on.
I have to realize who
the
I'm
dogs
talking to.
The dogs have a friend. Okay, continue. Please continue.
They do have one friend who is 90 pounds.
Do they call the friend on the phone? Do they FaceTime the friend?
They only get to see each other in person. You know, kids don't have phones.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I was surprised you let them FaceTime each other.
But when they play with him, he's so gentle. I think it's because he thinks he's their size. It's all about the mentality.
Of course. All about the mentality with the dogs.
Yeah.
They exchange vows. Nicole's vows is she is a woman of many words. But she knows that know this about her. She makes promises that she intends to keep. She will respect his heart and emotion. She will make him laugh because she is hilarious, as we already know. She didn't get to pick him, but she will make sure every day moving forward that she chooses him. Chris's vows are he's excited to learn about her and show her the importance of doing little things, like buying flowers when you're not even in trouble, and vows to be the husband that he knows he can be. Chris's claim to fame is really this whole buying flowers when you don't need to bit. He really relies on that to show his good guyness.
Right. I mean, because he has said that multiple times that he is a good guy. He doesn't know why he's single. I'm a good guy.
Chris is a serial killer.
It's like, are you convincing? Who are you trying to convince?
I think
the first time you said it, I would have been convinced you were a good guy.
Chris is an undercover Dexter. Chris is a serial killer. I think he's the nice act is too. He's putting it on too much. He got bodies in the basement somewhere.
Yeah, he's laying it on thick. Like I start to question.
Makes me squint my eyes. Go. I don't know. You're saying a lot that you're a real nice guy.
Right. We'll see how many flowers he buys her. I mean,
he's going to do it all the time. He's going to do it so much. She's like, okay, that's enough.
It's it's a sweet gesture. I mean, the sweetest I've heard one time while I saw the Instagram or TikTok, a guy would buy his girlfriend's flowers. Girlfriend, one. He would buy his girlfriend flowers, and he would keep one and keep it in water. And so when it died, he knew she was ready for like a fresh set. I was like, that's sweet.
Gosh. Okay.
You're not gonna say, "Aw."
Yeah, no, that's a little much. Chris just he seems so bitter that he's always quote unquote finished last, and all the bad boys get the good girls. I don't understand. Like he just seems really mad at the world because he's such a good guy yet he gets so mistreated.
He's like our modern day Corey Matthews from Boy Meets World.
What? Corey got Topanga at an early age.
It was rocky though.
It was rocky. Did we watch the same show?
Yes, I have been.
There was one skiing incident, and that was their big bump in the road.
No, I mean, when I think Corey, I think this good guy. It's like Chris sees himself as Corey, and all the other guys in the world are Sean.
And all the Seans are always getting the girls.
Yeah, the Angelas.
Yeah. Ooh, the Angelas. Ooh. Moving on. Sorry. But no, Corey got Topanga. Corey is fine. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Corey's living life fine. All right.
And Chris has Nicole.
Yeah, and Chris has Nicole. That's he finally got Nicole, but he has gone so long without a Topanga. Okay.
Yeah.
He is mad that all the Seans are getting the girls.
Right.
He just seems really like bitter about it. Like he just seems kind of judgy. Like let's see. In a confessional, she says she and Chris are already hitting it off, and she already knows that he is what she's been looking for. They sit and talk. She wants to know about his dogs. He talks about they're two husky mixes, and she says, "Oh, they're like our dogs now." As she has already been married to him for 10 years in her mind.
Yep.
This is the 20 minutes after they have met. She's all in on this. In a confessional, she says she wants the producers ask her, what's the first thing you want to ask him? And she goes off on this like tirade. I want to ask him everything. I want to ask him about his dogs, about his work, why he moved here, has he dated in Nashville, does he have any friends here? She just goes,
has he kissed anyone in Nashville?
Yeah.
That's Nicole, rather specific.
You're in a confessional right now. Keep this here in the confessional, okay? Remember we talked about like kind of bringing it down a little bit from 200. Just
reel it in.
Real.
Asking if he kissed anyone in Nashville. That's not 80.
No, that's not 80. That's 200. That's 200 question. He tells her about his finger, that part of his finger got chopped off. Tells her the story about it. He a little insecure about it.
Had he talked about that before?
He did. He talked about it. It might have been even just a matchmaking special.
Okay.
But he talked about it very early. So we knew about it, but I forgot about it until he said something.
Same.
Because he was like, I know you're wondering about this. And I was like, well, that's a little insecure to be thinking like that's the first thing she's wondering about. She didn't say she was, because I mean she was right by the finger where she put the ring on, I'm sure. But he tells the whole finger story. That's the like second most interesting thing about Chris, other than he hit a home run when he was 7. She talks about how she was nervous that she might get Shrek, but he is very handsome. He says, he tells her, I'm happy too. I'm happy at what you look like. In a confessional, that he says that she's very pretty, and he's very happy. They both seem to be very happy with each other. In a confessional, she says this has to work with Chris. If it doesn't work with Chris, it won't work with anyone because he seems so great. He is everything that she wanted. And they kind of walk off hand in hand. And that's the end of their segment this week. Hey, listen. I think we might get a hit here.
I think so too.
Wait a minute. I lost my paper.
You have too many cards.
Too many cards. Okay. Count of 3. Let's get it on or hold up, bro.
1, 2, 3.
Let's get it on.
Get it on.
I think they're ready. The chemistry is there. Okay.
Yeah. I think if Nicole has anything to say about it, it's happening tonight.
Oh yeah. I think if Chris doesn't pass out from low blood sugar because he hasn't eaten anything,
maybe that's why they showed us.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it doesn't happen, because Chris is hungry.
Yeah.
He did not eat at the reception either because he was thinking my adrenaline is still going. I'm good.
Yep. I'm there. He's just gonna crash at the end of the night.
Somebody give me a payday. You need to give this man something.
A payday?
I love paydays.
That's the most obscure candy bar reference I think I have ever thought of. You couldn't go with a Snickers.
I don't like chocolate.
A Twix. Anything else. You pulled out a payday.
Payday.
You might as well pull out $100,000 bar. Okay. Now I love those. $100,000 bars are good.
Don't sleep on paydays. They are just the perfect.
I'm not even sure I know what a payday is. I've seen a payday in the store, but I've never stopped and examined what a payday is. What is a payday?
It's this thick thing of caramel covered in peanuts. And so
it's a Snickers of the chocolate.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
You just bite into it and you have the crunch of the peanuts and then you have the caramel just all in there. It's so good. They have the snack size, they have the regular size, and they also have the king size. King size is too much. So you got to eat like half.
I'm missing the smoothness of the regular candy bars. I feel like that would be very bumpy. Like wouldn't
That's
feel
why
right.
I always keep it in the wrapper as I go about eating it. But I have not had a payday in so long. I'm definitely getting one tomorrow.
And that, folks, was the candy corner here on A Perfect Match. A new regular segment here. Yeah.
We have a bunch of new segments today.
Yeah, for real. Let's see. I'm gonna get a cameo and see how Bao feels about paydays. I'm gonna ask that particular question.
Oh my gosh. Bao seems like she can. I am so excited. Like I literally got a second wind just for the day of just thinking about this potential friendship with Bao. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bao's gonna be like, I did not mean what I said. I was just being nice at the cameo. Please do not stalk me.
I am going to.
Y'all can swap stories about Zach. Think about it.
Oh my gosh.
That was probably around the time he was dating Bao. Like,
honestly, yeah, no, because I saw him texting on his phone, and I'm like, when I was thinking of the time, I was like, I don't think he was still with Michaela at that point.
For those that are new to the podcast and don't know the story, Aysha, who is also a Houstonite, bumped into Zach at a club one night. Did not shoot her shot like I told her to, and did not look at his left hand. Did not think to look at his left hand to see if he was still wearing a wedding ring.
He was very nice, however. We took a picture together, and he told me if I ever want him on the podcast, let him know. But then there was a bunch of drama after that season, and I decided to just put a pin in that. He did.
He didn't tell me that part of the story.
Oh, well, when I talked to you, that was before we had that conversation, because I told you and Mari like immediately.
Why isn't Zach on the podcast? I want Zach on the podcast. He got
we exchanged numbers, and then he was like, if you ever need me on,
you exchanged numbers? I did not get this part of the story, Aysha.
Where you been?
You've been holding out on me.
I think I told that part. But yeah, no, we did. We exchanged numbers. He's probably changed his number at this point. That was what? Not even. That was so. It was one of my friend's birthdays. So it wasn't this past September. It was the September before.
Let's call him live on the podcast. Go ahead. People on speaker.
Absolutely not.
Zach, this is Aysha and Jason from the Perfect Match podcast. You have time to talk for a moment.
I am focused on developing this friendship with Bao. Can't have anything ruining that.
You might not want to bring that up when you see Bao. It might not be a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, is that it for Nicole and Chris?
Yeah, that's about the length of it for this episode. All
right. So next up, we had another wedding that we got to see. The only other wedding we got to see on this outside of the first two was Gina and Clint, which is this was very interesting, which I feel like the after party provided a lot of clarity because she was kind of hard to read. She's very professional.
She is. But I felt I could read her. I felt I was like, I don't think they are on speaking terms.
I don't know. So of course we had to start out with the dress shopping and the suit shopping. So we got to see her go try on her dresses, and she's very excited to have an equal partner. She wants to dress with some sex appeal. And her friends hated the first dress that she put on. They said it's too boring for her. Didn't fit her. And so her mom brings up
I personally speaking, I loved that dress.
the first dress.
Let's just put that out there.
You're right. I thought it would look fine. I was like, oh, okay. Y'all are not a fan. Y'all must okay. They just had a different thing in mind, which when we ultimately see the dress she chose, it makes sense. That one was a more like, it's so funny because we draw these comparisons, but that one reminded me of the dress Mirla picked.
I honestly don't remember anyone's wedding dress.
You don't remember the dresses? No, I'm kidding. I never remember clothes. Like literally, we could get off of this podcast and you could text me and say, hey, what color shirt was I wearing? And I would not. I mean, now that I'm bringing it up, I know it's gray.
I picked a gray shirt, you know, to be in solidarity with my guys that wore gray suits.
Okay. But I would not have known that getting off. I just always remember faces. I don't remember clothes. But for some reason, I specifically do remember because Mirla was so picky with her dresses. This did remind me of the dress that Mirla picked. So her mom brings up having babies, you know, like any like potential grandma. You're ready. I'm ready for that time. And Gina's like, I do have a baby, Hank. He's 5. He requires a lot of attention.
At that moment, Aysha felt a special kinship to Gina.
Oh, absolutely. We are one and the same now that now that she has shared this story, because I can totally relate. My mom is a grandma to my 2 dogs, and she is, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but she is very pleased in her grandmother role by having them. Holding me, it's buying me some time, I think.
Mama Welch, you are always welcome on the podcast to refute that. You know that.
She is, they know that she's their grandma, or they know that she's their grandma. Like they get so excited.
Of course they do, Aysha. Of course.
No.
They are so cognizant of the fact that this woman is the mother to this other woman that takes care of them.
They do know. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to.
I said they do. I'm agreeing with you, Aysha.
There's
not being sarcastic at all.
Oh my gosh.
What are you talking about?
They know. It's different. They have different hellos for different people. And when they see my mom, they are just
that's so grandma.
They literally, yes. Okay, you get it.
Totally.
You're awful. You need to understand. They do. Dogs are so smart.
They are so smart.
Look, jumping ahead a little bit, when Hank came down the aisle, and then after he gave them the rings, he goes to her mom, who is his grandma, and sits right in front of her.
Hank was
they know.
How do you feel about people giving dogs human names? I can't stand it. I mean,
I think it's
so weird.
Hilarious.
It's weird to me.
Like a Steve.
Yeah. Good boy, Hank.
Oh my gosh. I do truly need you to know that they do know that that's their grandma.
Of course.
Okay.
I totally agree.
They are seeing her this weekend. I will record them seeing her, and the excitement is through the roof because they're like, oh my gosh, she's grandma. Literally, Pepper is the calmest she ever is, just laying with my mom, because she knows, okay, when I'm with grandma, I can just relax, I can nap. And then when I feel like it, I can go in the backyard whenever I want, because grandma's always going to open the door.
Aysha, I am agreeing with you 100%.
I can't.
I am not disagreeing with you mostly because I don't want to hear it from our Facebook page and people on the Facebook group about how awful I am because I'm not acknowledging that dogs are like humans. So I totally agree with you. They know that woman is your mother and that is their grandmother.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm just going to ignore your sarcasm and take your words as fact.
What are you talking about?
You're not going to gaslight me into thinking that you're not being sarcastic.
Boy. Not the G word.
Yes. Okay. I just saw a funny this is a tangent, but I saw a funny TikTok. The girl was like, told her boyfriend, I'm gonna start gaslighting you. He said, you're gonna start gaslighting me? And she said, I didn't say that. Oh my god. I watched
What are you
that
talking
so many
about?
times. I died laughing. Ooh, okay. But Gina's mom correctly points out that if her spouse does not like dogs, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, totally.
Which, hey, that is valid. Who was that? Chris and Paige in Atlanta.
Oh yeah. He hates
that
that
was
dog.
He was not.
He said that dog go F off. I think where his exact words.
Oh my gosh.
I don't give a F about that dog, I think were the words.
Literally. Oh, he was awful. Okay, so we do have a moment of Gina reflecting as she's trying on these dresses, and she talks about like it took her a while to be comfortable with her curvy body type. I think Gina looks amazing. I feel like she's so confident. What do you have to say about Gina?
Gina is a wonderful woman, okay? And yeah, everything you said.
Yeah. Yes. I thought this
everything you said that I can't say.
Yeah. I really appreciated this moment because it just kind of showed us like who we see right now is this very confident woman. She's a boss, like I said on the last episode. And we see she's gave us a hint to kind of just her journey through her own, just like getting to this point of body positivity, which I don't even like. When I see Gina, I don't think, anything of like, oh, I wonder, did she have to come to terms with her curvy body type? So it was very interesting to just hear her reflect on that. And I loved her sharing this.
Yeah. Just quick, like aside, like as we tend to do, I think we compare a lot of the couples we see currently to the couples we've seen in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And Gina and Clint give off to me such Brett and Ryan vibes that it's not even funny. Like Gina reminds me so much of Brett. Clint is already reminding me so much of Ryan, just aloof, arrogant, and like thinks his own crap doesn't stink. And Gina is just this powerful, like boss lady that is so confident in herself that she doesn't need this idiot guy, which I think will probably end up happening down the line. And just that, as I think about couples that I compare other couples with, like that's who I think of when I think of these two already. And they haven't even really met yet.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that because I hadn't made that comparison, but now I can see it. Like that is a very, I could see it playing out very much so that way.
Like, yeah, much like Brett, I don't think Gina's going to take any crap off of Clint.
She's like, yeah, no. And on After Party, well, okay, so we find out that the gift that Clint gave Gina were some sailing gloves. And then Kirsten told Rudy, oh, when you meet Clint, it'll make sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That said so much. I was like, I cannot wait for Clint to just make an ass of himself to everyone in the cast.
Yeah.
I do think we had a couple of the guys last week saying they really liked Clint, but I think I already seen in the season preview is he's gonna talk about Gina's body during the season. Is not going to go over well with the other ladies. We already saw that in the season preview, so I think that's a lot of where they get there. And speaking of the
when
gifts,
did you see the season preview? I don't think I saw this.
It's I can send it to you.
Okay, because I've only seen. It must have been during a commercial break. I fast forwarded, but yeah, because I've only been seeing what's coming next. I haven't seen.
They gave us a season preview that they usually don't give us until
That's why I was like, wait a second.
The honeymoons start.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. I can't wait to watch that. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, that is a nice comparison. So I'll be keeping that in mind because I could see them like they just can't get on the same page in terms of like finding things in common or even. I think it's gonna be difficult. I think when the experts thought, oh, they both love an adventure, there are different types of adventures.
Yeah, and they're both successful, but I'm not sure Clint's looking for someone that is even. I'm not sure he cares about his wife's success. I think he's going to be mad that she's going to be so busy and so successful that she can't hang out with him and go on his adventures he wants to go on.
Yeah. He's like, why don't you come out on the sailboat with me? She's like, I have the grand opening of my salon.
Right. Like, can't you blow that off and come on the boat with me? I need you to be my first mate.
This is the weather is perfect. What do you mean?
Have you seen the wind report for today?
Right.
We gotta get out there and sail.
Yes. No offense to any sailors. It's just Clint.
Clint is the only person we mean offense to.
Right. So let's see. Okay, so when he went suit shopping, he tried on this blue suit. His friends, these are the friends that Chris needs. They said, no, you look like you're one of the Chippendales.
His friends are very interesting characters. That if sailing is Clint's personality, this guy with the hat, that hat is his personality, because he had the same hat on the last episode. That hat is his thing. Like, when you talk about that guy, or the guy that wears the hat, that's him.
Yes.
And I think I know where every single one of y'all were January 6th, 2021, by the way. Like, I can pinpoint where y'all were.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I didn't even think about that. I
mean to cast no aspersions. I know nothing about these people.
Right.
It's vibes, you know?
Yeah, these are all just vibes. So while he's getting dressed, his friends talk about how they think he's ready. They think he's been ready since his last serious relationship. So they don't think there's any concerns. He ends up picking this, like, I couldn't tell if it was gray or green or gray green. Okay.
We're about to have a dress conversation. Was it black and blue or white and gold?
I was like, it also could have been my TV. I think I've been having some color correction issues.
Just smack the side of it. It'll fix itself.
It'll be good. His friends ask him, is he excited to wake up to the same person every day? He's like, well, I'm excited about the concept of waking up to the same person every day. They're like, the concept and the reality is very different.
Yikes. I like the concept of working out and getting healthier, but I don't do it.
I love the concept of waking up at 5 a.m., getting a workout in, reading a nice book, doing some household chores before I start work.
The concept and theory and the practice of it are very different things.
Very different.
That was, hey, if I got to bring it back, I got to bring it back. red flag. If the concept of it is appealing to you, like, that's,
right. And it wasn't like, even like he correct, like, oh no, I don't mean the concept. I just meant, no, he meant what he said. Mm-hmm. So Gina starts getting ready with her bridesmaids. She says, she brings up how she's been single for 4 years. And I wonder how many times we're going to hear that. Like, is that going to be present in their relationship? I know we keep hearing it now, but I wonder, is it going to make a reappearance? She said at this point, she's checked off every career box. And so she actually made a New Year's resolution to fall in love this year. I was like, I've never made that resolution. So
it's very like business-like. It's like,
yeah,
something I will do this year is find love. Like, how are you going to really predict that? Yeah, check it off.
I fail. Check. We jump to Clint getting ready, and he says his biggest fear is that they don't get along. And like he's in his suit getting ready for the wedding. He's like, I feel like I'm getting ready for a business interview. And then, whatever. We jump back to her. She's getting her hair ready. She's like going for full volume. And she says, the higher the hair, the closer to Jesus.
I was worried for a second. I was like, is that what her hair is going to look like? But
right,
then when it flashed to her, like, actually ready, I was like, oh, okay, that looks nice.
Yeah, it looked really good. I thought she looked amazing. Then we jump back to him where he reveals he has slept with 65 partners. He has had 65 partners, and he just hasn't found the one.
He reveals unprovoked. No one asked you, nor does anyone care. And why are you still keeping track? You are 40. You're a big boy age. why is the number still like emblazoned in your head like that?
And is it just like, this is a rough estimate, or does he have a list?
Oh, he has a list. He has a list on his phone. He might even have it handwritten in his wallet or something. He seems like the type that, in addition to revealing to you on the very first minute of you talking that he's a sailor, that he also reveals that he has slept with 65 women. Like, he is that guy.
Ryan.
He's a Ryan.
Ryan was saying like he's had over 100 first dates.
That's not as good as you think it sounds, my guy.
Yeah.
It's not the good thing you think it is.
He's like, I'm cool.
Such a ladies' man.
Right. There's this moment. We jump back to the bridal suite, and Gina is doing like a reveal with her mom and friends. And so they cover their eyes, and now she's ready, which is a normal thing. Like, that is a normal thing that happens, is the reveal. Once the bride is completely ready.
I wonder if you're about to say the thing that I was thinking in the moment.
Yes. The moment that she's like, all right, look. Her mom drops her hands and it was like shocked.
It was a horror mask. Like, you could sell that like on Halloween as a horror mask. Like, it looked like her face was like melting a little bit, the way she was contorting her face. It was just like, wow, that's scary. If I was her mom, I would be like, you cannot use that. Like, I would have been offended that they used that shot. Like, do not do that to me.
It looked like she saw a ghost. Like, a ghost is looking her directly in her face. Literally, that is how Jason is doing the exact look that her mom was like, shocked. I didn't know your jaw could get, like, I'm afraid if I did that, my jaw would get stuck.
And at regular speed, it's not that bad. But you slow it down like that, it is really just alarming.
She was blown away at her daughter's beauty. She was so happy with the final look.
She's like, oh my God. She freaked out.
She's lucky she had a wall behind her. She would have been backing up.
Yeah. Somebody to catch her. She's about to faint.
Right. Her and Chris are going to need the same treatment.
Yeah. Did you eat today, Mom?
Right. And so she's getting ready to walk down the aisle. She's with her dad, and he says trust is the biggest thing y'all can have. So
that was her brother, not her dad.
Or her brother?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Why did I write dad? I wonder.
He told her to trust in the experts. Don't do that, Gina. Don't take your brother's advice.
No. She says she's on the verge of throwing up. We see him enter. He walks in very confidently, saying hi to people. And I always watch in this moment, like, who have we met on her side to see how they're reacting to him? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, is this someone? But
he came in like a 70s, like a 70s guy, like on a TV show. Like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? Like flashing the peace sign, everybody. Hey. Getting the finger guns.
Right.
Hey.
So then it's time for her to walk in. She turns that corner.
Oh. His face looked like her mom's face.
Yes. The size of her smile.
Oh my gosh.
Was out of this world.
She had like we were talking about in the Facebook group how big her like smile is. I posted the thing from like I think it's like a shark, it might be a Finding Nemo or Shark Tale.
From Finding Nemo,
of like the shark and his big like all of his teeth and all his big smile. Like that's what Gina reminds me of all the time. She has such a huge like mouth. He shows you all her teeth at every given moment. But I mean, yeah, she turned the corner. He at first glance, no matter what he says later, he's in it. He's in.
Yeah,
okay?
He's blown away. And it reminds me of this TikTok I saw. The girl was like, she practiced like a polite smile. She's like, leading up to our wedding, I kept practicing like just smile nicely. And then it showed like her actual wedding photos. And she was just like Gina's face. just like huge, like Gina would like, if she's taking a normal picture, she would not smile like that. Like this was just excitement through this world.
Can I ask you how long you spend on TikTok every day?
That's not a question that needs to be asked.
This is the second time you referenced the TikTok this episode. And it's at least once an episode you referenced the TikTok that you saw.
I hold back. I could reference more.
I spend 3 hours of TikTok on TikTok a day. That's it.
And it's only like the past few months that I have felt comfortable to say, like, I saw a TikTok rather than, oh, I saw this one time.
I saw a video somewhere. It's not important where I saw it.
I did some research.
Yeah. I saw some footage.
Right. TikTok is a thing. We know people scroll and see. There are a lot of people on TikTok. There's a lot of content out there. Okay.
I'm not judging. I just said this is a question.
Just curious, huh?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, he was happy. They get to the things that the family wants them to know. So his family says, like, they want him to know he's the captain of his own ships, literally. And he's like, yes.
Dang and dang it.
Yeah. It's 2 boats, dang and dang it. Her family wants him to know that he is very lucky to be marrying this kind-hearted but fierce woman. She's never met a stranger, and she's a great travel partner. Nice stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So we get to their vows. So her vows, you know, she already has gratitude for the man that he is. She believes that they could have a happy ending. His vows, he's like, you know, I promise to make this journey as interesting as interesting as today is. So I was like, okay, that's an interesting way to put it. He's going to be her co-captain. He wants a deep understanding of her wishes and stuff. And he couldn't be more excited to embark on this journey.
Just always has to reference sailing and everything he talks about, everything he does. And,
it's in his blood.
This is what I'm talking about when we talk about this wasn't like fire episode.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've had so many better vows in the past. Like I can think of Jasmina as one that just killed her vows.
Yeah.
And you know, most of the time they're very good, very funny, like interesting, but these vows, they weren't really hitting it for me.
Yeah, it's almost as if because for one of these couples, I think it was Nicole and Chris, maybe, they said the I do's before they got to their vows. And I thought they weren't going to do it. And I was like, oh, great choice. Like, it's it doesn't matter anyway. It's almost as if because they're getting married at first sight, just do a wedding, no vows. Then like a month in, like 4 weeks, vow time. Like, now you can create your vows based on your partner, who at this point you should know very well, hopefully.
And it seems like they really shortened everything. Like they shortened the friends and family speeches. They shortened the vows, which I think they heard our like complaints about how long they were before.
Yeah.
But don't cut out the interesting stuff. Give us interesting stuff while it being short.
Right. Yeah, because we didn't talk about during Nicole and Chris. Okay, so Nicole said she got covered with champagne and had to redo her makeup. And I guess it got on her clothes and not her dress. And it got in her hair. Yeah. And she was just feeling just super, basically insecure about, you know, walking into the wedding. And they're like, we couldn't even tell you did any of that.
Yeah, this is an after party where Rudy was like, yeah, you could even tell based on what we saw. And that's true. We couldn't tell, but I would have liked to have seen that. I've known that.
Yeah.
Like, that'd have been fun. Like
the camera crew's like, oh shoot, we were on lunch.
Yeah, Gina said something about her stepdad had too much to drink or something and had to be like didn't make it through the ceremony. I was like, why didn't we see that? Why didn't we see her stepdad get dragged out of the wedding?
Because this is about love. It's not about drama.
I've said it before. I'm 80-20 drama to love. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the drama.
Yeah. So we get to the moment where the officiant asks for the rings, and Gina's like, Hank. And I wonder what Clint was thinking in this moment.
Who the hell is Hank? Like, is this like a brother-husband situation? Like, am I about to be into polygamy? Who's Hank?
Right. Here comes cute little Hank, the golden doodle, coming down the aisle, and with the rings around his neck.
I think it's just golden doodles that I'm scared of because, like, as I said last time, I think Jasmine also has a golden doodle. And I commented on like how freakishly weird the dog was. I feel the same thing about Gina's dog. That is a freakishly big dog. Like, it looks like it's supposed to be a small dog.
Yes. Yeah.
It trips me up. It messes me up in the head.
Messes with your head.
Yeah.
But he was so well behaved. He gave her the rings. He said, "Happy for you, mommy." And then
Yes, he said that out loud.
he went and sat in front of his grandma.
Who he knows is his grandma, of course, as we all know.
Yes. You think he had no idea who she was?
I think he knew who she was. I'm sure he spent time with her.
Yes.
I don't know if you said, Hank, who is this woman to this other woman? Hank would say, "Oh, that's that woman's mother, of course." Not just this other lady that I spend time with sometimes.
Okay, maybe not that woman's mother, but he knows that is a special person to me, aka a grandma. This is an additional caretaker of me.
You said, and I quote, "Pepper and Cinnamon know that my mom is their grandmother."
Yeah, well, you're making you're trying to build a web. It's more simple than that.
I'm trying to build a web.
To them, they may not know she's my mom, but they know that's their grandma.
Okay, yes.
You're trying to make
I agree, Aysha. I don't want you're trying to get me flamed on Facebook and Twitter. I'm not having it.
I would love to see
I'm not falling for the trap.
Oh gosh. But they end their wedding with a kiss. They do kiss.
Yeah. I did ask my wife, because I thought at the moment, I was like, that is a lot of facial hair to be kissing. I do have facial hair. So that's my wife. Is it weird? She said, no, you get used to it. I said, all right. I just wondered, because he has more than me. He has a lot of shagginess. You can barely see his lips. It's so covered. I wondered how that was for her.
Yeah, it's to the point where if he shaved his beard, he would almost be unrecognizable.
Yeah.
And so they do the after where the sit down before they go to do their pictures and stuff. He says she has a natural beauty, she has a nice figure, he loves her eyes. He tells us that in confessional. She tells him she thinks this is going to be easy, and she asked him, what does he do for a living?
And well, do you mean what I do for work or my hobby? He was so he was chomping at the bit to tell her that he's a sailor. He really wanted to tell her real bad.
I was like, what? She said specifically, what do you do for a living? But he had to have clarification.
I did find it interesting. She told him about her salon, and he kind of feigned interest. He wasn't like, "Oh, that's fancy." He's like, "Oh,
yeah." He didn't ask her more about it at all.
That's nice. That's nice. You're wondering what I do for a living and hobbies? Do you wonder? Are you not gonna ask?
Right.
Did you get my sailing gloves I gave you?
Right. Did you try them on? Did they fit?
That's a hit.
Which is not a good gift. I think we just have to put that out there.
Yeah, I mean, they talked about on After Party that he gave her because all the couples get gifts, but they only show certain ones.
Yeah.
So we found on After Party she got sailing gloves. We also found out that Shaq got Kirsten. It almost felt like a gift bag you get at an event.
Ray-Bans.
Ray-Ban sunglasses, a Pandora bracelet. I think he gave her a glass or something, a mug or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, what did Shaq get this stuff? This is a gift bag you get at some fancy event that Asia goes to every week.
Oh my gosh. How did I get brought into this? And so he ultimately tells her he works for a tech company. He does consulting, which I don't think
we didn't know.
We really knew that yet. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. He does do something other. I thought he made a living from sailing. I didn't know it was a hobby. And so then he asked where she lives. She lives downtown Nashville. He says, yeah, I have a condo downtown Nashville. She's like, which one? And he names it. And she's like, oh, I live there too. They live in the same.
So weird.
Condominium.
Do you think they should have excluded them from matching those two together? Maybe they knew each other before, or do you think it was fine?
I think it was. I think,
Do you think the quote unquote
matched them with other people?
Yeah. Do you think the quote unquote experts care if they knew each other in passing before. I don't think they care that much. Maybe referenced by the whole Johnny and Bao of it all.
Yeah.
That was really come up a lot in this episode. I don't know if they even knew they knew each other before, but just I don't know if it's a big deal for them to do that.
I think it was risky for sure. Like, you don't know if they had a fling and it just didn't work out, because we found out on after party that she had seen him before in an elevator, which she did mention on the episode. And
she says she thinks she did. She wasn't positive. She didn't say it with the air of like, oh yeah, I know that guy. She said, oh, I think I might have seen him in an elevator before.
Yeah. And then she said that they filmed their like home visits a day apart. So they filmed hers first. And then the next day, she said the filming crew was back. And she's like, she saw someone in a van with the headset, and then she walked her dog, came back, the full like crew was there. And she's like, oh, did y'all forget something? And they're like, oh no, we just forgot some shots of the building outside.
We had to come back and take some shots of the building. Like the worst cover story you could ever think of. Like you should just be like, oh yeah, we had to interview you one more time. Just say something in the camera.
Right. Meanwhile, she thought she had already found a match, or like they had already found her someone because they were back. And so she was like, okay, she waited for them to leave. And then she asked the valet, what were they doing here? I was like, props to you, Gina, because I wouldn't have thought to do that.
But then they told her, no, they were here to interview some old man.
Yes. They say interview some old man upstairs. So that's funny. Like, do they know he's 40 and they just refer to him as such? Because to a 16-year-old, he could be an old man.
True. I wouldn't classify Clint as an old man. Like,
no, we wouldn't. Yeah. We don't know the age of the valet.
True.
So we get a confessional. She's like, she likes his sense of humor, and she likes how his hair, the wave in his hair. No specific.
I mean, she is a hairdresser, so
right. He does reveal that he's an 8th generation sailor. And we get a confessional of him saying, we're golden. Like good. That doodle.
Like a doodle. We're golden.
Which I was like, when he said that, I was like, okay, is he saying that to be clever? Or did he forget like Hank's his name?
I think he was saying it to be clever because he thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. Bring back the Ben laugh for this one.
Right. So now that Clint and Gina have met, do we think they're gonna consummate? 1, 2, 3. Oh,
difference of opinion.
So I think hold up, bro, and Jason thinks let's get it on.
I think that he's going to charm her enough in this first day. I don't think he's going to show his butt too much. And I think that she will think he's a great guy. She might think he's handsome. We didn't really get a gauge on her how she's feeling attractiveness wise to him.
Right.
We got to gauge
the wave in his hair.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
That's a little stretched. I mean, like if someone like,
it's not a lot to
I
go
think
off
she
of.
would say he like, oh, he's cute or he's handsome.
Yeah.
And not go specifically to that.
So I think there could definitely be a chemistry there the first day. I don't think he's going to maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't think he's going to make such an ass of himself the first day. I think they're going to feel the chemistry that first night, and I think they will consummate that first night.
All right. We shall see.
Yeah. Last, certainly, not least, well, Dom and McKinley were least, I think.
Yeah.
But last on our list is Eris and Jasmine. Not a lot for them. We kind of got a cliffhanger at the end of their segment. So we start out with the dress and tux shopping. They ask her, so how do you want your guy to be? Like, what are you looking for in a guy? She says, well, I want someone who looks like he's seen a gym before. I'm kind of toned, so I kind of want him to be toned. We flash to him. He says he's feeling pretty calm. So he tells his buddy she's definitely not going to cry. Fred asks, well, what if she's ugly? He says, oh, I might cry then. He says it will be like when he sees her down the aisle, it will be like she descended from the heavens with her dress fitting her curves perfectly. What a dog. She comes out in her first dress she's tried on. Friend says, "Oh, that train is giving drama. Love it." But she says it reminds her of a pageant dress, which is not a good thing, apparently. We get that whole like, "Oh, this is the dress," and she's like, "No, this isn't the dress," and you get the whole like, wah, wah, wah. The whole music cue. He comes out in a purple tux. His buddies Harold and for some reason someone named Cheese. They like the tux. He likes it. Then he goes into this whole thing about wishing his father was there. He used to be the flyest guy in any room. He reminds us, that his dad was murdered in '94, and it felt like ever since then something has been missing for him, and he's felt insecure, wondering if he would be man enough, or wondering what a man would do in certain moments because he didn't have that father figure there, and what a leader of the household might look like. I would argue that maybe your mom was the leader of a household. Moms can be leaders of households, people. Let's remember that. He comes back out in an all black tux a little later. He says, he tells us he's tried all the methods, but he is ready to leave his F-boy times in the past. This will not be the last time they reference F-boy in this episode for him. His friend asks him, what's his best case scenario for this process? He says to make some offspring and to hopefully enjoy the nasty process of making offspring. He's really looking forward to it.
Oh my goodness.
I
just don't know if he knows what marriage is going to entail. Like, I don't feel at any point he has come off as understanding that he will need to get to know her personality. They're going to need to develop, a friendship, develop a strong relationship. He hasn't striked me as like, oh, he's going to put an emphasis on the things to make their relationship stronger.
Yeah, he's talking a lot about how he's ready for this, but the actions aren't matching those words. I mean, even some of the words aren't matching the other words he's saying. And he's very focused on one thing from the most of what we've heard from him, of what we've gotten from his segments. So yeah, it just feels like it feels like he's not ready. Like, this is the vibes again we're getting. Just you're kind of thinking a lot about the whole like looks of it and the whole like intercourse of it all. Mm-hmm. That's not what it's not what should be top of mind in this moment.
Right. It's just like, yeah, actions speak louder than words. Like him saying he's ready over and over and over.
Yeah, when you're asked about your best case scenario, it should not fall to, I can't wait to have sex. Like, It should be, my best case scenario, she's loving, she's kind, is compassionate, loyal, blah, blah, blah. All the trigger words that we get usually, not like, hope she's good in the sack. That hope to enjoy that part of it. So yeah, that's another key. That's that's a red flag. That's gotta throw the flag on you.
I think what it all boils down to for me is maturity.
Yes.
With him, that I think that's going to be the biggest concern in their relationship, because it just seems like a huge, like if you compare them, they're in different points of maturity.
Yes, 100%. We go back to Jasmine. She comes out in another dress. This one everyone loves. She loves it. She says it makes her feel like $1 million. I mean, she's giving it as good as Eris is. She says she hopes it makes him want to take her clothes off.
Mm-hmm.
Now she is saying this stuff, but she's prefacing all of that with other stuff about how she wants a man. She wants someone that's loyal, blah blah blah. That's not top of mind for her. Okay.
Right.
So we're talking about both sides here. Mom is there with Jazz, and she says that she's excited to be able to be here to see this. And she says that because we find out that Jazz's mom has recently been diagnosed with breast cancer. I think this in the last about 3 months. So they're all happy that she's here at this moment because they know that life can be short, and they may not have a long time with her mom.
Yeah, I thought this was I kept trying to understand because I didn't know if she was like in remission or if they just found out she had it 3 months ago. Just the way she was phrasing, I wasn't sure, but it seems to be like a very, it is something they are currently going through. So I'm glad that, she has her mom there with her, and it was a sweet moment just to kind of really get a better understanding of like how much this does mean to them.
Yep. I
forgot to mention that too. I was taking note of Shaq's grandma during the ceremony.
Yeah.
And they did cut to her a lot. Who last episode we talked about how an after party they revealed that was the last time he saw her because she passed away. So I thought it was really sweet that they did focus time on her during the ceremony. Like we got a lot of cuts to her.
100%. Yeah. We flashed to the wedding day for Jasmine and Eris. She's having breakfast with her bridesmaids. They really flashed to this. Like they didn't give us a whole opening of like her meeting up with her bridesmaids. Just like,
it's like, how did they walk in?
Yeah.
I mean,
how are you going to explain how she met up with her friends? Like,
how did they get in there? If we don't see it, how Chris did it, we don't know how they walked in.
Is this her house? Is this a hotel room? We don't know. We didn't see her enter.
Magic trick? I think they just
did she
appeared.
just teleport in there?
I'm confused.
I'm mind blown. I don't know how she got into this room. Yeah. She says that her biggest fear is that it's going to be very awkward and his family is going to be too protective. Flash to Eris' cousin, Felina. Foreshadowing. She tells us that she did Married at First Sight because she was picking the wrong people. She picked people that she felt had potential, but it never worked out. Her friend asks her if she thinks that, love can be learned. She says, yes. I mean, in her past relationship, she has learned to love. So she is confident that even if it's not love at first sight, that they can figure it out. Love can be learned. We cut right after that moment, we cut to Eris waving goodbye to the streets. Now, this is where I say, for a Married at First Sight contestant, if you wanted to work, you should have said goodbye to the streets a long time ago. I think for this to work, you need to have at least been in a committed relationship right before this. Not right before, but your last relationship should have been a semi-serious one. Yeah, semi-serious.
Like marriage, like a potential.
Right. So you would have had some experience with a good relationship in the recent past. Not you are just now saying goodbye to the street because you were in the streets 2 weeks ago. Like
right, like a reform. I mean, we know he has his dating apps paused for one.
Yeah.
And I would say a reformed player would
have reformed according to who? Like
right, him.
Yeah, I mean, is he the best judge of that?
The words old soul, reformed playboy. So a reformed one means he would have said goodbye to the streets reform it. Yes, right. like before he was reformed, not in this moment, but it right before this, like when she said she falls in love with potential, that's really alarming. Because
expand on that.
Because is that
more ignoring red flags, painting red flags green?
Because for her, because
I can fix some behavior, maybe.
Exactly. Like she has this mentality of like, I see where you could be, and that's not always where they're gonna go. So it's like you need to fall in love with who he is today. Yeah, you can hope for what is the future, but for her to just confidently, like, that's some self-awareness. Like she knows she does this. Like looking back on past relationships, she knows she does this, but I don't know if it's a situation where she's like, I need to stop doing that. I mean, it's too late now. You're getting married. But maybe in the future if they don't work out. But she said she falls in love with potential a lot. And so I could actually see her seeing the best for Eris, but not looking at who he is today and seeing is that the guy she wants. It's like you have to be okay with if this person never grows. Are you okay with who they are right now?
Yeah, you have to learn to not settle.
Right.
For people treating you poorly with the hope that it can get better.
Mm-hmm.
Stand up, as people say.
Right.
So I hope that she's not
Hey,
going to
that's from
get.
TikTok.
I didn't even know that. I don't TikTok. um, so hopefully she doesn't. She goes into this with a different mindset and not just blindly, because it seems like she's like, oh, couldn't do it. I guess the experts are going to do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Put your foot down. Don't accept anything less than what you deserve or what you
Right.
think you deserve. Anyway, we go back to Eris. He and his buddies are getting. I don't know why it's so much in this episode. All the guys are like getting dressed together in one room. We're all like tucking shirts in. Like same thing with Clinton. His people. All his like grooms were like putting their shirts on like in the living
Mm-hmm.
room. I was like, why are we doing this? Same thing with
Is that
Eris.
not how it works?
No, we don't sleep in beds together, and we don't get dressed in front of each other typically.
Yeah, because usually don't like they show up with like just to put on a jacket or something, like show dressed for the most part.
Yeah, but everyone's getting dressed like in the living room. I don't know why.
See,
Of
in the
this
bridal
hotel
suite,
suite.
we're all getting ready completely.
I'm aware. I can guess.
We'll show up in pajamas and a bonnet, and then get ready for showtime.
Yeah, as he and his buddies are getting dressed, the friend says, "Are you ready to leave your hot boy summers behind?" He says, "I'm ready to leave my hot boy summers, my F boy summers. I'm ready to leave it all behind, and it's over with." And the friend says, "Well, there's no nicotine patch for a hot boy summer. You're gonna have to go cold turkey." And that's another good way to put it. You can't go cold turkey on the streets and be an F boy. It's gonna be tough for you there, Eris.
Right? He's gonna be like, oh gosh,
Gonna be
yeah.
fiending.
Mm-hmm.
So in a confession, he tells us again. He says, "I'm ready to leave my F boyness in the past. I've been preparing for this, not even knowing that I was preparing for it by going to therapy, the books I've read over the last couple of
Read some
years,
books.
and I've really grown out of my old ways." What books is he reading? I want some titles. I want a list.
Think like a man.
Oh gosh. The Secret.
Right.
She puts her dress on and says it means a lot that her mom is there today because the future is uncertain, and her mom has been planning her daughter's wedding since she was 3. They all pray together, and Jasmine tells us that she is a preacher's kid, so getting a divorce would be a pretty big deal. So she needs to make sure that he's giving her all in this. He comes out to the kind of the area like outside of the wedding hall, getting ready to go in. And who should approach but a dark shadow named Felina? And she approaches him. She says, "How you doing?" He says, "I'm good. How are you?" She says, "Oh yeah, I'm good. But it's not too late to walk away." He says, "I mean, it's not, but it kind of is. Like everyone's here, the cameras are here. It's kind of too late." But he does say he is hopeful. She says, "Well, it's so much hope though. You're hoping. There's so much hope in this. You shouldn't be playing with your life like that. And this is not a game." Then we shoot to confessionals of him saying, "I know I do have concerns. I am hearing what she's saying." She tells him again. She said, "This is not something that you have to do. We can walk out right now." And he says again in a confession, he says, "A lot of thoughts are going through my head right now." And they really kind of make it seem like he is questioning whether or not he should just run away right now. That's why this episode is called "Runaway Groom" for this moment. And this is so dumb. Like, why are you trying to cliffhang us like it's gonna run away from the wedding?
Y'all have already released the wedding photos,
right? Not gonna happen. I mean, I guess this is for people that don't pay attention to like online stuff like we do.
Yeah.
The question, like, is Eris gonna run away from the wedding? Oh my god. No, he will not. I think it's just funny. They were like, "We need something. What do we got?" That Felina lady, she was really giving it to him in the first meeting. Let's send her back in there. Yeah, let's send her in there to really just kind of mess with him a little bit.
Because who else's cousin was greeting them before they went? I mean,
Shaq had his grandma come out. So I mean,
that's not a cousin. That's
not a cousin.
A significant figure in your life.
It was like, let's send this person in to make him question everything he's thinking, just for funsies.
We could leave right now. I would.
I got the car. The car's running outside, right outside. Getaway car.
It's like she wanted to say me or her.
Yeah, that. I wonder if that's going to be a thing. Like one of the first meetings they have scheduled for the reception for Eris and Jasmine or Jasmine and Felina. Like that's going to be a showdown.
Yeah, I just want to believe Felina is so skeptical because she knows Eris so well and knows that this is not right for him.
Yeah.
And not this like, I'm not ready to see my cousin get married because then we're not going to be able to hang out anymore.
Yeah, it's she knows her cousin too well. I think that's the
right
part of it.
And hey, Jasmine is close to her cousins. If he's this close with Felina, they could really have a great cousins night.
Yeah, for real. Aunt Pat could be there cutting up like she did. Yes, I mean that's it for Jasmine and Eris. They really just kind of be like, oh my god, is he gonna rate for the wedding?
And they haven't met, so we can't rate him.
Yeah, I can't rate him yet. On the next time on, we get Kirsten complaining to her bridesmaids in the bathroom about Shaq's bald head, and then it really kind of became like a groom's getting grilled by all the family members of their brides. So that was the focus of the next time on.
Yeah, the quote that sent me to oblivion was Dominique's mom saying, oh, people were saying, oh my gosh, he's so nice. Jeffrey Dahmer was nice.
Mom, you're the one that signed your daughter up for this. Now you're complaining.
How are you the skeptic? You should have thought about that before
marrying your daughter off to a stranger.
Literally. It's just like, she's like, oh, no. I had a different husband in mind.
Well, I didn't know he was going to be nice. Why'd y'all give her such a nice one?
She's like, I told y'all the specific man to match her with. What happened?
I wanted someone who's going to treat her like garbage. Where is that man?
I'm very curious to see how that turns out. But it looks like we're gonna have some interesting receptions. So
hopefully it's a lot juicier than this episode was. Yeah.
Than this episode. Yeah. We did make lemonade out of lemons.
Yes.
So yeah. So that was episode 2. One for the books. Wasn't that exciting, but there are some things we learned. So we'll see how it plays out next episode as we get the other 2 weddings. Oh, yeah, the other 2 weddings.
1.5. One and a half weddings. Yeah.
We see Eris's reaction to Jasmine actually coming in, and then we get the full thing for Dominique and Mac, and then we'll see the start of the reception. So very excited. So yeah. That's it. Anything else from this episode?
No, I think we covered. I think we squeezed a lot of water out of this boring stone. So I think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Jason, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at JAYR1085. As of right now, this is my only gig, so this is where I'll be. If anything else pops up, I will let you know on the Twitter.
Lovely. Yeah, y'all can find me on Twitter at Aysha like Asia. That's AYSHA like ASIA. Let's see. I will be on RHAP game night next week on January 17th at 8/7 Central. Join us on this here YouTube channel to watch us play Ticket to Ride. I have been studying up to see how this game is played. I'm very excited. I'm personally rooting for me and Omer from Survivor. Rob is also playing, and Chappelle, and Grace, of course.
Oh, they got the big guns out for this one, eh?
Right. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm very excited to play. So make sure y'all join us live if you're just looking for something to watch on a Tuesday night at 8/7 Central. And yeah, I'll be back, of course, next week to talk about episode 3 of this here Married at First Sight. So yeah, thank y'all so much for sticking with us. Hope y'all enjoyed that cameo as much as I did from Val and Luke, I guess. But mainly
Luke, your favorite. How was your favorite one? I just don't understand why I didn't like that one.
I will keep you updated on this friendship that's going to flourish between me and Bao. And if we do have a play date with our dogs, I will take pictures and I will report back right here on A Perfect Match.
Listen, I get full credit for the introduction.
Oh, absolutely. For sure. No one else would get that credit. Just know that. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for sticking with us, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.